Okay guys, today we're going to look at adding fractions that do not have denominators that are alike. So we're going to work through what that looks like and the process for that. Now again, I'm going to be filling in my graphic organizer as I go, and I'm going to start by filling in the center. So for the center, we're going to talk about adding fractions with unlike denominators. Now, I'm going to tell you, we talked about in class that you can't always do things super traditionally. If you know how to do this in the traditional way and you can do it a different way than what I'm doing, more power to you. I'm going to focus on using the butterfly method to do this because for some kids, if they have not learned it the traditional way, we need to try something else. And that's what we're going to do today. So again, if you want to solve it another way, you are more than welcome to. You're just going to have to make sure you're showing your work. Okay, so I'm going to go to my first spot in the circle, and I want to talk a little bit about this butterfly method. So first of all, to use the butterfly method, it really is probably the best thing when you have unlike denominators. So when they're not alike, that's probably the best thing. Oh, I can't use blue and yellow together. There we go. The big thing when we're doing this is that it must be, the fractions must be, I guess. Let me move this down a little bit. So the fractions must be in improper form. So the top number has to be bigger than the bottom. So if it's not, I'm going to change it. Because the big thing is this is going to be no mixed numbers. The other thing with this is that we're going to have to be sure to always reduce. That's going to be another piece. But if you have numbers, I'm just going to do two fractions here so you can see it. Plus this. Use white so you can see this. I am actually going to make a butterfly looking shape over my problem. And that shape is going to be one of the first things I draw on every single one of these. So I'm going to go through the first couple, but I will tell you, in order to do this, you need a little room around it. So I might start by writing the problem at the top, but I'm going to have to move it so I have a little bit of room to actually make this work. Okay, so I'm going to go to my next part of the circle, and here's my first one. So my first one is 1/4 plus 1/2. So I can tell by looking at these that the denominators are not the same. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the fraction so it has lots of room around it. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get that butterfly shape that I want. And I'm going to start out by making that butterfly shape. I'm going to just move that over just a tad so you can see it. Okay, and what else do I need? I need the bottom of I guess I forgot part of my butterfly. Okay, the butterfly method takes these two numbers and multiplies them together and puts it there. So this will be 2 times 1, which is 2. In this direction, I'm going to do the same kind of thing. So 4 times 1, which is 4. And then to do this bottom part down here, I'm going to multiply these two. So 4 times 2, which is 8. And now I'm going to start to put them together. So this goes there. That's going to be 8. I'm going to put these two together with a plus sign between them on the top. So 2 plus 4. So that's going to give me 6 over 8. And if I reduce that in my Desmos calculator, it would give me 3/4. So again, this is all dependent on the fact that you're going to make that butterfly shape and start to fill in the pieces. I will tell you, in general, the butterfly method usually requires some kind of multiplication and some kind of grouping. So realize I'm leaving enough room for that. Also realize 99 times out of 100, you're going to have to reduce. And that's something you should be prepared for. Okay, let's go to the next circle. Three over 5 plus 4 over 7. So everything's a fraction. That's good. I'm just going to move it down. Oh, maybe not quite that far down. I'm going to make my butterfly shape. I'm going to start to put stuff together. So this way, 7 times 3 is 21. And then I'm going to do this way and do 5 times 4 is 20. So to do the top of my fraction, I put those two together. To get the bottom, I've got to put these two together to put them here. So 5 times 7, which is 35. That goes here. So this will be 41 over 35. Now, if I put that in my Desmos calculator, it's not going to reduce. But because the top is bigger than the bottom, I'm going to have to divide it out. So 35 goes into 41 once, with 6 left over. So it'll be 1 and 6 over 35. Okay, we got 2 more. So I'm going to go to the next part of my circle. So number 3. 1.5 plus 4/9. Now, I know I need to move my fraction down a little bit, and that's fine, but I have this part that I'm going to need to deal with. And I'm going to have to make that improper. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus the 1 on top is 3. So 3 over 2 plus 4 over 9. Then I'm going to set up my butterfly. So 9 times 3 is 27. 2 times 4 is 8. And I'm going to put those two together to get the top of my fraction. I'm going to put these two together to get the bottom. So 2 times 9 is 18, and that goes over here. So if I add 27 and 8, it's going to be 35 over 18. That does not reduce, but because that's bigger than this number, I'm going to have to divide it out. So 18 would go in there once, with 17 left over. So it's going to be 1 and 17 over 18. Okay, one more left. Let's look at one that has both numbers being a mixed number for our last one. So for number 4, 1 and 1/5 and 4 and 1/6. So since they're both mixed numbers, I'm going to change both of them to improper fractions. So 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 1 on top would be 6. So 6 over 5. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Now, once that's set up, we're going to go ahead and do our butterfly. So in this way, 6 times 6, it's going to be 36. 5 times 25 is 125. We're going to put this part together for the top of the fraction. Now to do the bottom, I have 5 and 6 that I'm going to multiply together, which is 30, and that goes in the bottom here. So if I do 36 plus 125 is 161 over 30. It doesn't reduce, but since the 131 is higher, I'm going to have to divide it out. So it goes in there 5 times, with 11 left over. Sorry, trying to get my, oh, there we go. Trying to get my pen to write. So 5 and 11 over 30. Okay, next one after this will be subtraction.